Fosters is about changing the foster system. We want to ensure every child has a safe environment to grow and become healthy, successful adults.
Additionally, when I was in the foster care system, I had to defend for myself. Rescue the Foster is here to empower the youth aging out of the system and offer resources to ensure they are not dependent on the government.
What we observed was that children become institutionalized and end up in prison and providing the government with more funds.
Rescue the Foster will provide coaching, resume writing, interview skills, professional attire for interviews, budgeting, applying for college, and obtaining housing.
We want these youth to live the most freeing, successful life possible.
It is their right and our responsibility to ensure that our future kids and grandchildren can live happy lives.
Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future.
Good evening and welcome to Rescue the Fosters Thursday night edition. I am Gino, your host, and as always, the co-founders and co-hosts of Rescue the Fosters, Sylvia Beachy and KK Emmett. Ladies, you've had an eventful day.
Yes. We have, and we are fired up. We are sick of these corrupt judges, these corrupt police officers that assist judges in these court hearings. So we are just fired up, and we're excited for our guest because she is a fighter, just like us, and we need more people like her.
We do.
Well, it goes, I think there's an old adage. It goes something like this: hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So we have 3 women that are scorned right here. So it's going to be fire tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Sylvia, can you please introduce our guest, please? Thank you.
I would love to. Cynthia Smith has dedicated her life to serving and protecting her community through her extensive background in law enforcement, nursing, and civic advocacy. Her leadership is rooted in integrity, transparency, and a deep passion for fighting corruption, standing up for families, and safeguarding the future of our community. Recognizing the urgent need for legal awareness and citizen advocacy, Cindy has worked tirelessly to expose corruption in local and state government. Cindy Smith, welcome to Rescue the Fosters.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Hi, Cindy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
So, Cindy, we didn't get to talk too much pre-show, but like I said, the bio is extensive. That's why we had the shortened version for Sylvia. Otherwise, we'd probably take up an hour and a half just reading your bio. There's so much good stuff in there. So we're super excited to have you here. We love people that are proactive. I'm personally, and I know the girls feel the same way, we are tired of people just sitting on their hands and saying they're going to do something and then nothing ever happens. We're about solving things. We like to get problems taken care of. It does seem like the wheels turn very slowly sometimes, especially with justice. But I do feel like the day's approaching where we will see justice and we're going to see these problems corrected. But we're just going to give you the platform tonight, and let's just start with the beginning. Like, what got you into advocacy and just really paying attention to what was going on in your community?
Well, my journey started a few years ago when I was injured and my career ended as a nurse. I still serve licensed in the state of Florida. I still do a lot of mental health things and just be really focused on my passion and my calling, as I call it. And then my eyes started opening up local, like where I could get back into my passion, caring for others. And I started advocating with trafficking victims locally here in the Panhandle and getting big in politics. So I never thought I would do what I have done this past year, but I'm proud of the journey that I am on, and I'm ready to fight for these children and be their voice and the parents that need us as well. With that being said, like I said, I started out a few years ago on this journey, and I didn't know where it was going to lead me. And I helped with our local Republican Party here, fighting for justice and the right things to handle. And then I decided to go off on another journey. My phone just went sideways on me. Can you see me now? Sorry.
You're good. Yep.
So anyway, I decided to run for state representative in District 3 special election. which I don't know if y'all familiar, when Matt Gaetz vacated his seat, our state rep decided he was going to run against that seat, and I seen corruption falling into that seat, so I decided to step out as the only female running for that election. And then they tried to use I call ghost candidate in there, and I started figuring the election out how they would put people in to flip the votes to more of the majority. And anyway, you have to learn it. You have to study it. There's a lot of money involved. And so I wanted people to know there's still good people out there. There's good people that wants to fight the fight. And not only do I want to fight the fight, I'm also have a hearing. I'm deaf. And I was showing people that anyone can make this happen. Anybody can be a voice, and there are still good standing people out there. So I went into the arena. I came into third place. I was a good match. I'm proud of what I did. And now, while I was during that time, I am the one that received a bunch of cases in my lap under DCF asking for my help. So I put my nursing cap on, my law enforcement skills, and all the other certifications I had. And as a mother and a grandmother, I started doing my own investigation in these reports and the paperwork. And I could not believe the corruption that I'm seeing right here in the Panhandle and Escambia, Santa Rosa County, all the way to Okaloosa. So I started working in all different forms, and I started helping a mom out. And this mother that's very dear to my heart. And I even get emotional even talking about it, because I cannot believe seeing that another woman, another mother, another attorney could lay their head on their pillow at night and do the things they're doing to the people in this area and across our state and country. It does not stop in Georgia. It does not stop in Alabama. It don't stop in the city, and it don't stop in the county. It's in every backyard. There's corruption. And I'm willing to stand up and fight and bring a little girl home. And that's my goal and my mission.
That's amazing, Cindy. Boy, where do I start?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because I know a little bit of the work that Cindy's doing, and I know a lot of the corruption that she's uncovered. And I would like for you to talk more about it's our mutual friend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we allowed to say her name on here?
We can't say her name. We just won't elaborate on, the children's names, but her name's Joy. And Joy has a story, an amazing testimony. And we've been working on a documentary now to be able to tell her story. I'm advocating for Joy, and I'm being strong as I can for her and what she needs. And unfortunately, it's a devastating matter. And they put a gag order on Joy a few weeks ago in court. And I told her, I said, don't you worry. You got a team behind you. And she's not alone. I have a team behind me, and we're standing together, and we're going to fight to get this little girl home. I like to start with her story. Again, like I told you, I was running for state representative. That's how I got connected to this case. And I started looking at the things that were happening. And what's so alarming is that it's medical. It's medical freedom, our amendment, our rights, parental rights, Amendment 14, Amendment 4, our First Amendment rights has been stripped from this mother. And the scary thing is it could happen to any of us of what they're doing. And all she did was ask questions, trying to tell alarming issues that could be taking place with her daughter by allergic reactions with medications and the big pharma. And she stood up against it, against one doctor that only seen her child at the hospital one time, and they called DCF on her. And now her child's been gone for 16 months, never been away from her mother since the day she was born. And this mother knew that she was carrying her child that she could have aborted, and they wanted her to abort, but she refused. This child has cystic fibrosis, and she's 7 years old now, just recently turned 7, and she's been pulled out of her home as of March 6th of 2024, all because her mother was standing up for what she felt was right for her daughter. And they tried to say the mother was malnutrition, was causing her daughter failure to thrive, and Munson by proxy. When the child was in the hospital of February 2024, that's when the local hospital called DCF on her. Unfortunately, with this type of disease, you have malnutrition, but the child weighed 37 pounds the day that she was removed from her home, which is a good weight for that type of disease. Well, all the stacks against the mother, like I'm going to start giving you examples of what they've been doing. They have diagnosed her without a visit of mental health issues, suicide, that she's been suicidal, that she has been in mental institutions. Unfortunately, it's not her that's been in all that. It's her sister up in South Dakota. They're using her sister's diagnosis against this woman. And she has certification from that area showing that she's never been institutionalized, never been in trouble. She's a good mom. The other part of this, they also said she refused medications, refused x-rays, refused blood work. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. If she refused all these things, this little girl would not have gotten well and was able to be released to go home from the hospital. She'd still be in the hospital dying, as they call it. They said she needed a lung transplant. Let me mind you, no doctor yet has gave a referral for a lung transplant. And the diagnosis is for lung transplant under CF, the child don't even meet the criteria. She does not even use 24-hour oxygen. This child was in soccer, dance. She was thriving. She was going to the park. A child that needs a lung transplant that is dying, none of this will be happening. They said the mother never did treatments for the child. How can they prove that? But she has. She used to record the treatments. They have put this mother into hell, slandered her name, and tearing her children apart. She has another child that will be 16 next week. And she's going through trauma herself because seeing her mother go through the hurt and turmoil that she's going through, knowing that their little girl may never get to come home, because they're trying to do TPR as we speak and allow the mental health sister in South Dakota to adopt this child. What's so sad is 4 people in this family, in Joy's family, is against her for standing up, for taking care of her children. Not every family has a white picket fence. And Joy does not have a good relationship with her mother, her sister, and her brother's wife. I've investigated this case. I've talked to the father, Joy's father. I've talked to Joy's aunt, which is Joy's mother's sister, friends, family, doctors, scientists, psychiatrists, counselors, all in Joy's favor. Joy has been proven that she does not have Munson by proxy. She's had 2 psychological evals that she has passed. She did the care plan in the first month, and her little girl's still not home. They told her she could get her little girl back if she started her on the miracle drug that this doctor wanted to push. She did that. The little girl's still not home. Mind you, this miracle drug, as of December of 2024, ended up going on the market as a black box warning, which is increase in death and liver failure. I want you to know, to this day, as we speak, this child's blood glucose levels now has increased. Her liver enzymes has increased, and her eyesight is decreasing, which is all side effects from this medication. I also want you to know that this child supposed to have blood work every 3 months. But while she's been in this foster care system under this DCF corruption, they went 7 months without even doing labs on this child. Mind you, this little girl has also told her mama recently that she's having to remind her foster mother, or whatever you want to call these people at this point, because I'm so upset about this, 7 years old, reminding them to give her her enzymes at time to eat. 7 years old. Mind you, her machine was broke just a week ago. We don't know how long it had been broke. It's a vest that goes onto her that she has to have these treatments 2 times a day. She went, we know of as of right now, a whole week without it. They said they were trying to troubleshoot it. Mind you, the mother states, all you have to do is call the company. If they cannot troubleshoot it within that day, they will have you a machine out within 24 hours. Mind you, it was days before they bothered to do anything to get something done to make sure this child got the treatment that she needed. She's sharing a room with other children. Mind you, this diagnosis of CF is critical because of germs that other children carry. This is the battle that we're facing right here in Santa Rosa County for this mother and this young family to reunite again. I watched in the courtroom the public defender and the state attorney for DCF talk about the mother very badly in the courtroom. We also was able recently to recuse the judge from bench. The information that the doctors got on stand, they committed perjury. They changed their story 3 times in one paragraph. In Mobile, Alabama, you can record, Joy had her daughter removed from Sacred Heart to Mobile, Alabama. In the recording with that doctor, he tells Joy her daughter's lungs are looking good. Everything's doing great. Joy agreed to blood work. There was no problem. But then again, when you go to court, they say she was outraged and mistreating the doctors. We have a body cam footage the day that they removed her daughter, March 6th of 2024. They go to court. DCF tells that the mother was ugly and outraged. The body cam footage does not show that. Do you know who was outraged and mistreating everybody? DCF. This should hit every home in the United States of America. This should hit every city and county to see what we're going up against when it comes to our medical freedom rights and what we know as mothers that we take care of our children. We know what our children need. And you lay your eyes, and the doctor lays their eyes on a child one time, and the mother's not doing her job. The mother was doing her job. She was asking questions. She was concerned about these pharmaceutical medication. All you have to do is look at in the CMS and look at the money these doctors are making from the pharmaceuticals that they're pushing, and the CF Foundation itself. It is alarming, and I'm here to stand up and be the voice for this mother and to let everybody know that we're on a mission in Santa Rosa County and in Escambia County to bring these kids home that did never deserve to be removed from their home in the first place. And that's what I'm doing.
You also failed to mention that DCF is making a whole bunch of money on this. This is the situation, and this isn't unusual. If you're new to this show and you haven't seen what we cover here, Sylvia, KK, have we heard before that a child with disabilities and a single mom had her child taken?
Yes.
Doesn't that seem like a pattern?
Yes.
It's definitely a pattern. We our last show, right, Gino? And not only that, but when I worked in the system, I had a child that had it was on my case plan. He had cystic fibrosis, and he was about 17, but he knew how to take care of his cystic fibrosis. And what you're saying, Cindy, is so right. Like when a child with cystic fibrosis, they have to be treated a specific way. If that foster parent is not giving her enzymes when she eats, that can cause it's like what they're doing to her is they're literally killing her is what they're doing, because you have to be on it. You cannot mess around with this stuff at all. And children that have medical issues, it just becomes normal and they know how to handle it and they know what to do. So her having to tell the foster parent lets you know that the foster parent is not the best interest of the child. You know, her mother is, and her mother knows what's right, and her mother knows how to take care of her, just like you said. And I would not want to try out a drug on my child. I would not want to. I have watched as in DCF, they literally experiment on foster kids with these drugs. They a lot of them, they have long-term effects that cause liver failure. They cause all kinds of different organ failures when you're an adult. So they're literally experimenting on these children. And nobody is doing anything because everybody's making money.
That's right. And when it comes to medication, whether it be vaccines or some of these drugs that's getting pushed through the system that's not getting the testing that they're supposed to, it's not one size fits all. And
Right.
they're not training the system, the DCF system, what way they should, the caseworkers. They're coming off the street and they have no idea what they're doing. Then they believe every doctor. I'm sorry, not every doctor I wouldn't even want to work on my body. I'm a
Exactly.
nurse. I've seen other nurses I wouldn't even want to touch me. And I've been at the hospital where I had to take for my family. I know what it can happen. You can go from one floor to another and you will have to explain what the doctor did on the other floor that worked for that patient. This mother was being very aware of what was happening. Matter of fact, at one occasion while she was in the hospital, if she had not been there, they would give her daughter diabetes medication because they were saying her glucose level was high, and that was not so. She saved her daughter that day. They put the wrong oxygen equipment on her daughter that made her oxygen look like it was under 80. There was nothing wrong with her oxygen. Even the doctor admitted it on the recording. These are the things that's happening. Medical errors happen, and then the parents are paying the price because the doctors want to play God.
Yep.
And I'm not saying every doctor's like this, but
Right.
you got your good ones and you got your bad ones. And I want to go back to what you're saying, the money. There's billions of dollars in this DCF industry. They're trafficking these kids for their pockets. You can make bonuses for adopting these children out. There's quotas that they have to meet when it comes to TPR or adoption or reunification. So if they meet their quota for unification, they go different routes to bring in money. I know this. You know this. And a lot of other people are waking up to seeing this.
Oh yeah, I had quotas as a caseworker, and you can literally go onto my website. You can pull it up. So if you don't believe what caseworkers have quotas, yes, go to the website rescuethefosters.org. Look under resources. You will see them. So you're exactly right. And the problem is that the average, just working family does not know that because they're actually busy working trying to survive, right? And it's not until they are thrown into the system that they have to figure it out and figure out what's going on because they don't follow the law, they don't follow the constitution, they just do whatever they want to because we have all these good old boy systems that I am so sick of. So
Well, the attorneys here locally have sat there and told Joy, do what they say to get your daughter back. Who cares? Put her on the medicine so you can get your daughter back. And she's standing up, and you don't buck the system. Let me tell you why I say that. I've investigated this for quite some time. I've talked to other foster families, even families that won't even foster anymore that's been whistleblowing. And they tell you real quick, you don't go against them. They'll come after you and they retaliate against you and take your kids anyway and make your life miserable, financially, mentally, and physically. And I've seen it. This isn't the only case that I've been looking at. There's several others. And I am just saddened to see that this system's like this. And let me just mind you, let's go back to when the baby was removed from the home in in March. In May, she was approved for this miracle drug. Now, granted, some people believe in the drug. That's fine. That's their right. This mother didn't like the drug. This mother did not want her daughter on this drug. Well, with that being said, in May, she was approved by an insurance company, which is $300,000 a year for this drug. And the foster mother at the time that the foster home she was in at the time, she's been in two, they just moved her recently, said, oh, I don't want to put her on the medication until I get back from my personal vacation at the end of June of 2024. So mind you, this child didn't start the medication until June 2024 because the foster parents said that, not the mother. Then in October of 2024, they took the child on an international cruise. Now, mind you, document says the child can't, malnutrition, failure to thrive, and needs a lung transplant, but they took her on an international cruise. Also, Joy had backup from other doctors saying this child didn't need to go. A Fort Walton doctor also said Joy's child should never been removed from her home. These things are happening with her this whole 16 months. We just found out in the last 24 hours that her daughter will be going on a vacation with her new foster family to North Carolina next month. They didn't even ask the mom, and the mother still has custody. They've not did TPR, and it's breaking her heart. She has days, she says, I can't talk right now. I don't want to be on the phone. I can't function because I see me losing my daughter. And I'm holding it together, let her know I'm going to give it my all. And I'm going to fight on a mission to bring this little girl home. I've talked to the senator here locally in our district. I've talked to his assistants, and they say, well, they're going to send it back to DCF and let them go through it. We keep sending everything back to DCF, but they're not doing their job. She sent this to the DOJ last year, sent it to Governor DeSantis. DeSantis sent it back to DCF. No one's done a thing. So as of Monday morning, I emailed the vice president, secretary, I don't even know the whole background on her, email telling her I know what's going on here in Santa Rosa County, and I'm going to expose it. So by 2:00 Monday evening, I got a phone call from the director investigator of DCF in this area. I spoke with him. I told him the whole story. Unfortunately, he says, I can't give you an update. I said, well, I need a meeting with you. I sent him another email so I can bring your evidence. You've heard my story, but I want to bring you evidence in my hand. I don't want to give it to you all over an email because it's a lot of paperwork for one, a lot of material to send. I told him he needs to do his job. He's been doing this for 18 years. And this is still going on in Santa Rosa, Escambia County, and he's an investigator. I told him he needed to do his job on the corruption and do something about this and start exposing and getting rid of these people that's corrupted in Santa Rosa County, or whoever else is involved. We know that it's the vendor system. The vendor system has a huge problem. They make over $500,000 a year the higher up you are in the system. This has to be awareness. We have to expose this, and we have to have accountability, and these judges need to start asking questions. Quit letting DCF run them, and they need to run the show and do what's right by the parents. And don't get me wrong, I do know there's kids out there that don't need to be going back to their parents or their home front because of the abuse. But there's kids that never deserve what this little girl's going through. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Good for you. You'd mentioned that they keep sending it back. They keep sending it back to DCF. I don't know what that noise was. Sorry. Did you guys hear that? Oh, that was weird. So they keep sending it to DCF, and you say, well, DCF isn't doing their job. I would argue they're actually doing their job. They're stealing children. They're keeping the children and making a ton of money. And it's not just Florida. I mean, this is all over the country. This is an epidemic. And, going back to the doctors and all this stuff, this medical tyranny has got to stop. It's going in a really, really bad direction. If you think they're just going to stop at taking children, they're going to decide how long you live, where you can live. They're going to decide everything if we continue to let this go. If we didn't learn anything from the pandemic, we better open our eyes because they're literally stealing children. Disgusting.
Well, she refused the COVID vaccine, and she refused the flu vaccine, but she got the paperwork recently that her daughter received the flu vaccine. The judge on stand, the one that we just got recused, actually said, we'll vaccinate your child all the way back to birth. That means double vaccination.
Can you say the judge's name that's been recused?
Judge Warwick.
In what county was that? I'm sorry. Santa Rosa?
Santa Rosa County. And another thing people need to know, some of these judges that handle these cases are appointed judges by the governor. They're not elected. So I think that may be a little red flag, and I think we need to hold some pressure under this. But whoever is out there listening to this today, I hope it goes back to the governor and he sees what we're dealing with right here in his state. And he needs to take action on this system of corruption and kidnapping our children for medical freedom rights. If anybody knows more about our children, the parents that's there with them 24/7, and this loving mother has 2 children, and they, mind you, the other child's still at home, AB honor roll, track, she runs track. She's trying her best to hold her head up and having to miss school and keep those grades because she's having to drive to 6 hours away from here to where her sister is to see her 3 times a month. They will not help her see the child on the weekend to help the other child from missing so much school. She's doing her best to keep her grades. That she could probably be a straight A student. And now she's AP classes. That's hard. That's hard for her to do that with the fact that what they're going through together. Some days she's the one picking her mama up. She was 14 years old when her sister left her home. And I sat there and watched her hold her mama together. This should be a crime at every level, and they should go in and fire every one of these. If I was their superior, I would get rid of them fast and start making some charges happen, because I believe charges should be on the DCF system here. But it's all corrupted. You don't know who to trust. And that's where we have been now. We don't know who to trust. We don't know who to go to. We don't know if they're going to do their job, because every time we send it up the pipe, it comes back down the pipe. And that's why we're in the shape that we're in right here in Santa Rosa County. And it just seems like it's just a whirlpool, just keeps turning and turning, and we're not getting anywhere. But I know it's a slow process. I know we can't snap our fingers as a mother. I want this little girl home today. But I'm giving it my all to get this little girl home. And I have a lot of people backing me up. I have a huge support team. I have retired veterans helping us. We have documentaries, people speaking up, scientists speaking up, and we're trying our best to do what's right for this little girl and get them home and expose the system as it is.
Cindy, when you say up and down the pipeline, this is a rhetorical question. What do you mean by that?
Well, just like I just said, we sent evidence to DOJ. We have sent it to Governor Sanchez's office. Now I've sent it back to the senator's office, and I'm asked the investigator to step up. Every time we went up the chain to a higher calling, they're sending it back to the DCF to investigate. And we're still at 16 months and this little girl still is not home.
And why do you think at every level of government, nothing gets done? What would be your suspicion?
They're all in it together. The money.
It's that
Greed,
$1 billion.
power, and money.
That's how disgusting. That's where we're at, folks. In the good old United States of America. Our children are at risk because of billions of dollars. That is literally the definition of trafficking. They're just canned goods, passed around, shared. Foster family to foster family, stuck in adoption, in group homes. No one cares. Nothing happens. The governor, DeSantis, I had hope for that guy 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was. And I quickly saw it deteriorate. And I was just like, if he ain't going to do it, because I knew how corrupt Florida was. I know Sylvia mentioned we had worked with Megan Walsh in Florida for a while. And time and time again, I don't know how many times we called his office, left messages. Pam Bondi was another one. Nothing. Crickets. Who cares? They're just children until it happens to their own family. And I don't wish that upon them. I don't wish it upon anybody. This is evil. EVIL. Like, I don't know another word for it. I've tried to think of a word, Cindy, that summarizes this, but evil's the word. This is satanic. These poor families have done nothing. This poor mom, I don't know this mom, but I know the story. I've heard it a million times. They're ripping her heart out. That girl, her daughter should be under her roof and under her care. So sorry.
I've talked to several other moms that have their children with disability. And another matter of fact, this was yesterday, a CF mom up north, and they did the exact same tactics to her. And she had, mind you, 3 or 4 other kids prior to this one baby. This baby was born during the COVID era. And she went pro se, was able to get some doctors fired, and I think the judge is a whole process she went through on her own. But she tells her story on our documentary as well, and she says that what the hard part is that she fears every day standing up against medical freedom rights for her daughter, that they still can come back in and take her. The sad part is she's right. All because she's standing up against what they're trying to do, and they're telling their story. They're telling her all these drugs are not working for some of these patients. And until we get someone with some balls, whether it be the governor, the attorneys, a judge, then we're going to keep having this problem. And I know we can't fix it, make it all go away, and everything's going to be perfect, because evil's always going to come across this world. But we can make things better for these families. And we need people to start standing up, our local officials, our state representatives, our governor, our congressmen. We need help right here in the Panhandle, in every area across the state of Florida, and every state in the United States of America.
It's time for we the people to understand it's coming out of your paycheck. It's coming right out of your pocket. We're the ones funding this. We're the ones that can end it. You know, it's Boston Tea Party 2.0. Let's end it. Let's end the nonsense. Let's cut the head off the snake and end the funding.
We have a lawyer out of Tampa, Florida. We got a bill today that he is going to charge quite a substantial amount of money for a single mom that's trying to drive to Jacksonville every three times a month to see her little girl, has to stay in a motel. Over $25K. She's trying her hardest. We're all trying to help to do this. And we need to come together, and let's save this little girl to come home. Let's expose the system, local system, the state system, and make them change their ways and what they're doing. These policies have to change. We have to change it legislation. The way the system's written, it's like you said, it's right out of our pockets. We're paying for it. It's coming out of our Social Security funds. And we all need to be raising the alarm at every level. And we need help, and we need people to come together, and let's bring this little girl home and help this mama fund to get this baby home, so we can show this system that we're not backing down and we're on a mission.
Amen to all that. Isn't Casey DeSantis head of some children's fund or something, or group? Sylvia, do you know the name of it? Or Cindy, maybe?
She sits on the child welfare. She's the chairman. She got the job the month, I think it was the month that they took Megan's children. It was April, and that's when they took her children. That's when she got promoted. So, I mean, like, literally, she sits on the welfare. Like, you can, and it's all nonprofits. Florida is the only state that is completely privatized, completely. And it was done as an experiment. And they basically made it a business. And it was so lucrative that they didn't want to stop it because they have it all set up. They don't even have okay, so when I say it's privatized, the only person that works for the government is the initial investigator. All of the other ones are not government. They're businesses or nonprofits. So I don't know who's over Joy's case plan, but the organization that was over Megan's case plan was CC Kids, and it was an adoption agency. Okay, so they had zero reunification rates because they don't want to reunite. It's an adoption. They want that money. Okay, so that goes back to the ASFA, the Adoption Safe and Families Act, where they get that incentive once the child is adopted out. So they've made it a business. So I don't know who's over her case plan. I don't.
I don't know if y'all aware of this, but Casey DeSantis is running for governor of our state.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's just like Georgia, where Christopher Carr is running because, you can't have somebody who can't control the system, right? You got to control the system.
Well, I hope they're listening to this podcast tonight.
I hope they are too.
And they stand up and help save these kids and start doing their job and investigate what has been created in the state of Florida. It's a nightmare, and it's at every single level.
Cindy, you said something earlier that I say quite often. I don't know how they lay their head on a pillow at night. Like, do they have no conscience? Like, I don't get it. Like, they have families. They go on vacations. They spend time together, probably play games, family fun night. And yet, that doesn't bother them. Like, that's a psychopath. Like, I don't know. Like, that is disturbing.
I watched the attorney laugh in court and call this mother a liar right there in front of many of people in that courtroom before the judge came on bench. Laugh with her public defender. They were laughing at her, calling her a liar. She's not the one lying. The system, they're lying. They have made a platform for this mother and many other ones, and making up stories, lying under oath. I don't understand it. I'm a very faith-based person, and I know we have one time on this earth, and we all got to leave this world and answer that man upstairs if you believe in the Lord above. And for what they're doing, they all gonna pay a price one day. It might not be here on earth, but they will have to pay the price for what they're doing.
Yep. Hey, Gina, I just sent you, if you can go to your email, I want you to pull up this website. Okay. Let me know when you get it pulled up. But this is basically, anybody can go to this website. This is adoptuskids.org. Okay. I want you to scroll over. It says adoption and foster care. Meet the children. Okay. Okay, y'all. Gina,
Advertising.
I need you to click on Meet the Children.
It's advertising.
Okay, search for children. Scroll right there. Search for children right up above it. Yep. Okay, now you can put in your preference, male or female. Gina, pick one, female or male. Okay, now you can pick the minimum of kids. You can do minimum 1, 12. You can do infant to 21. Search by children with video.
I'm not even going to click. I'm not clicking.
No, I need you to. This is the government. This is the government. This is what you can literally go on here, pick your child, and it's by state. I want you to pull these up. I want the people to see this. Okay.
Oh my God. This is terrible.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Tell me this is not a shopping list for pedophiles. Tell me it's not.
This is trafficking. This is trafficking all day long. Our states are trafficking our kids through the government system. And our governor and every level, whether it be our governor, our state reps, our senators, are allowing this to happen. They need to do an investigation immediately. This needs to be shut down. Our president needs to get involved.
Yes, absolutely. Okay,
So
that's only just a minute of that. Literally, you can go on there and you can search and you can put it by state, you can put it by like, and he just did one mail and it had 30 pages, right? So, I mean, this is literally okay. Not only that, but they have adoption parties. I don't know if you've heard about the adoption parties, Cindy. But in Atlanta, they would pick the girls up from the group home. They would take them to these parties. Okay. I had a foster kid tell me today, a former foster kid tell me that she went to these parties, and some of these parties were at private homes, and some of them were with pool parties. Okay. Literally, they are trafficking children. And y'all keep on playing around. And I'm over it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I hope this podcast tonight brings hundreds of people in to see what's really happening and want to help us stand up. It's time to start protesting. It's
Yeah.
time to start speaking up. Get off your butts. We are risking our lives out here to expose it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're telling the truth. We're not trying to hide anything. We're actually exposing it, the corruption that's happening in your own backyard.
Cindy,
And it's sickening.
you were a woman of action. I noticed in your bio it said that you started some town hall meetings. You were at council meetings. Maybe you can lay that out for the good folks watching, how they can get active in their own communities.
Yeah, so if you start seeing something that you see corruption or have uncovered some major things, you can host your own town halls. You can rent a building. You can start it in your own backyard. These are the things I started doing locally before I decided to run for office, exposing the corruption in our commissioner settings, in our city council settings. We started going every inch of this county from one end to the other, letting people know what was really happening behind the scenes, where the money was going, who was getting the money, how you can tell how they're stealing the election. I mean, they will go out there and pay someone to go on the ballot to split the votes, and that will make them stay in office. I literally watched certain developers and people pay money into PAC funds and then go to a county commissioner meeting and get the favor in return because they gave them money. We're literally dealing right now. I know this don't involve in our children at the moment, but it is their future, where the development is putting chemicals, running bad dirt into our bayou over here. And they transfer the dirt from a old chemical site and built next to the bayou, and when we have rain, it washes down into the water and it's killing our fish. It's killing our grass, our wildlife. I'm involved in that as well. So yes, you can get out there. You can tell your story just like we're doing. Start talking, calling people up that you know. I'm telling you, these people are ready to talk. They just don't know where to go. They don't know who to go to, and they don't know what to do. But here we are. All you got to do is look us up. We'll help you. We don't mind getting involved and getting our hands dirty, because you know why? God's children is not for sale. And we're here to protect these children. God gave us these children for a reason. He put us on earth for a reason, and he's given us this time for a reason. And if it's saving the children and being their voice, then earth for a reason, and he's given us this time for a reason. And if it's saving the children and being their voice,
Hmm. Exclamation point. That was really good. Yeah. Boy, Cindy, this is a subject matter that's not fun to talk about. Let's face it. I mean, it's dark, demonic. I know it makes people kind of get sick to their stomach, and it should. I'm sick to my stomach. I've heard this a million times, and I'm literally sick to my stomach every time I hear another mom or father or family that's been torn apart because their child's been stolen from them. Um, it's just, you get to the point though where if you don't think ahead, if you're not looking ahead and looking to a bright future, this is very depressing. Like really,
It
really
is.
depressing. But just like you said, I think there's enough people in this country that are willing to do the work to end it. And whatever little part that is that you can play, if it's writing a letter, sending an email, protesting, civil disobedience, whatever it is, whatever's in your wheelhouse, whatever your gifting and calling is, do it to the best of your ability and watch what happens. God will bring the numbers together. God will open up doors that no man can shut. We've seen it. We've seen lots of doors opening. Incredible doors, just opportunities and connections that we could have never orchestrated ourselves. But you have to do something, anything. And even if you can like and share this, that helps because it might get in the right ears of somebody. Somebody might lay eyes on it and go, "Oh yeah, I can help. I was in that system before. I understand it." You know, if you're willing to come out, if you're working in the welfare system right now, whether it's in Florida or any other state, we need you to talk. Sylvia did. Sylvia came out. She was whistleblowing. Still is. It takes courage, but we need your voice. And if it doesn't even, you don't even have to come on camera. If you want to just talk to us, give us information, we're willing to listen. But we need help. We definitely need help.
If you have any heart and love for children and see what's happening in us talking on this today, as a mother, a father, a grandmother, aunt, uncle, you will stand up for these kids because the future is theirs. It's not about us anymore. It's about the children because we got to leave something behind for them. And if we don't, then we fail the children.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fail my children. I gave it my all. Am I perfect? Did I make mistakes? Yeah, we all have. But there's one daggum thing I do know. I'm a good mom. I love my children. And I know Joy is a good mom and she loves her children. If
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to give her children away, she would have did it a long time ago. She wouldn't be in a fight that she's fighting right now. So we need to keep Joy and many other parents in our prayers. She's having a hard time today. Today's one of her bad days. And we're trying to hold her up as much as possible, but it's not easy. It's not easy for her. And we're trying so hard. This should be gut wrenching for everybody that really cares and has a heart. Whether you be a doctor, a lawyer, we need people to start standing up and doing the right thing.
And also, I would like to add, as a advocate for the children. I mean, I remember the days when I was in foster care. Just crying like, when am I gonna go home? And so I could totally relate to children. Like, I know that's how they're feeling. They feel hopeless. They're crying. They're like, when am I going to see my mom? When am I going to see my dad? So, like, I totally understand the struggle that they're going through. They don't know when the next time they're going to see them. Like, they're struggling. Like, they don't treat the kids right. And a lot of these children, like, I'm pretty sure for a fact that they know that they're being trafficked. And a lot of these people don't even realize that they're being abused in their homes and they're being put in these foster homes. And a lot of these parents that are foster parents, they are pedophiles. They're abusing them. They're not feeding them. And it's like, why are we giving them all this money to help the child and they're not even helping them? They're literally using to buy a new house, a new car, to go on vacation, all they care about is themselves and maybe their own biological children, not really the foster parent. I mean, the children. Sorry, my bad. But it's just sad and it's sick. And like I said, I do think there are some good foster parents that really do genuinely care, but unfortunately, we're seeing a lot more corrupt ones lately. So, yeah.
I want to give you a story real quick. I told you I work locally with trafficking advocate and going to summits and having my own awareness. And I have done that before as well. But I have a lady that actually works for a hospital from home, not here locally. The hospital's out of the state. But just recently, they have a trafficking team board, and the DCF system there has a certain foster home they send a lot of kids to, and this foster home adopted a child. Well, that child was transferred to Texas and sold for a monkey. This was recently. This is what we're dealing with in this country. And no one's hearing anything about it. It's being hushed. I haven't seen it on the news. Have you?
No.
That should be national.
And also they're like what they're doing now is like you can go on a website and you could go buy like a cabinet, but they're using that as like a mechanism to really buy children. So put the name of the child as like the cabinet name or whatever type of furniture. And that is also how they're trafficking children. They're just using that as a cover up now.
It's ironic you're saying that. I like to tell you some notes that when I was reviewing this case as a nurse, I couldn't even believe what I was reading on progress notes and things. Literally, one of the notes state from a DCF worker that they had enough of joy on the note. You had enough of joy. Why? Because she's standing up against your corruption?
Right.
Because she's standing up for that baby of hers? Because she is a true woman of God and a mother,
Yes.
a good mother, and you don't like her because she's standing up and calling you liars, because that's what they're doing. They're lying. They have really ruined this family. They will never be able to forget this. Whether that little girl comes home, this is one tragedy they will never forget. This is like a horror movie. And it's sad that we're sitting here having this conversation and knowing what this little girl is going through. Matter of fact, they like to tell her that her mother goes to the beach all the time and she's not getting her homework done, so she can't come home. That's the story she's given.
Wow. They make up everything. But if she says anything, I've had caseworkers tell me to stop the visit if the mom or a parent talks bad about DCF. Okay, they say stop the visit if they talk bad about us, but oh my God, you sit in that courtroom and they will slander you like you won't believe. You are a drug addict, you are whatever they can possibly think of. And it's crazy, but they don't like it when you say it about them. They don't like it at all.
No, and let me just mind you, 16 months of supervised visits. Even documentation says let the mother have visits, gradually get the mother back involved. You can even order home care, nursing, all kind of things for this little girl to see that the mother is doing her job if that's what they needed to do. And it would save lots of money if they did it that way. But they're choosing not to. But you can tell this mother took very good care of her daughter. They're even going so far as saying that her home is not calm. It's just her and two girls. Two of her daughters live there, two daughters, and it's not calm. The body cam shows it is. The body cam shows everything. It shows matter of fact, the little girl was watching cartoons on her little couch that day when they walked in to take her from her mother. They had just came home from the park. That's the situation that we're in. And if that little girl would need a lung transplant, she wouldn't be able to go to a park.
No.
If she was failure to thrive or malnourished, she would not be able to went to that park. She wouldn't have the energy. Mind you, the mother, Joy's mother and sister and them tried to say that Joy's tried to commit suicide and wanted to kill her children, stated she wanted to kill her children. If they were so worried about that, then why did they leave the other child at home? Only took one, the disability one, the one that brings in the money. She gets disability, she gets child support. And if they have her at a certain level in the DCF system, because they level them out, they get more money for them, federal and state grants and funds. So they're going to believe everything this mother and them says, even though Joy has proved her innocence, has did the psychological evals. Even the DCF lawyer called her counselor and threatened her license for standing up for Joy.
Wow.
That's the stuff that's happening with this case.
Right.
And just so the folks are aware, this is happening hundreds of times a day across America.
Yep.
And there's so many transactions of money being transferred.
Yeah, they've made it a hustle,
Yeah.
you know, between everybody, the therapist, the
Literally
Sorry.
racketeering. It's a mafia system. That's what it is. I mean, you've got the mob boss sitting at the top. They're just dishing out money. It's laundering money through the system. And it's for children, like literally for human beings. And I know, Cindy, we talk about the border quite a bit, all the kids that have come across and the trafficked kids at the border. Of course, that's terrible. And, I don't want to discount that. But Sylvia's made this point several times. The foster care system here is catering to that. This is the source. This is it. This is the machine. This is the ATM. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's, and I don't know why people don't see that. I don't see how they don't see the connection. America has made it so simple to traffic children that they'll come across the border to do it. Let that sink in.
It sure is. And I just don't even understand how people can just lay their head at night and think this is okay. And I hope more DCF workers come forward and start whistleblowing, because this is what it's going to take. Go on strike. Don't go home crying saying I can't take this job anymore for what they're doing. Go on strike. Start showing, exposing. We start raising our voices and sounding the alarm, things will fall in place and people will come together and start helping even more and more.
It's not like, I think we think of it as this huge monster that we have to cut the head off of, but it's few people that run this. Against we the people, are you kidding me? Like, we stand up, it's overnight. Literally overnight, you end it. These children are reunified with their families. And we're not saying that there aren't bad parents. Of course there are. There's bad doctors, there's bad garbage men, there's bad mailmen. Like, there's bad people in society. We're in a fallen world. But the majority of these children that are being taken, and I think it's close to 90%, is unsubstantiated. These people have no crimes. They don't even have a misdemeanor. And they're stealing their children from them because their house isn't calm. What does that even mean? Who gets to define what calm is anyway? You come in my house and you get to tell me how my house is supposed to be, but we don't get to go in yours. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of these workers believe in, the demonic side of things. I do believe they're okay with transitioning your children, transition them into things that you wouldn't want to. And it's sad. And I hate to tell you, I wouldn't want someone to come in my home and take my kid that wants to transition your kid and think it's okay that they can transition from a boy to a girl or a girl to a boy. But that's what's happening.
Yep.
You are so right. Like, when I was in the system, they didn't start the whole like changing your body stuff yet, but they did try to push that ideology with the child. So like they would try to confuse you, like, oh, like especially with me, I lived in an all girls group home. So like when you're not around like the opposite sex, you start believing those lies, like, oh well, maybe I do like this girl and all this other stuff. And it's all just ideologies and things. Like there's just so much things being pushed, like confusion. You want to like girls, all the sexual stuff, drugs, abuse, gangs, just anything you could possibly think of. It's like available all right there, because that's the type environment that they put these children in. Is demonic, it's crazy, it's cold, it's just like I can't even go into the whole explanation. It's just so much you could think of that they put these children through. Like they don't even care about the beds that they sleep in, like the sinks, the showers, the food most definitely is horrible. You should see the stuff that they feed these children. Like I did not eat none of this food. I mean, oh, I can't even. It's just ridiculous. Just all of the things that they push at these kids is just ridiculous.
Florida's number 3 in the country of trafficking.
Right.
I grant you, majority of that is just right in our government system.
Yep.
Yep. So, yep, their own stats is 88% of sex trafficking victims come from the foster care system. That is their stats. So that tells you.
Yeah.
Sometimes
know.
we just don't even know what to say anymore.
I know, because you've said it ad nauseum. It's just like it. You just think like, my God, this is real. Like you wake up and you're like, this is actually happening in America. I could see in a Middle Eastern country maybe under some kind of tyrannical government, but we supposedly live in a free society run by we the people, and we're allowing it. That makes no sense.
So I told you guys I was deaf, right?
Yeah.
So I was in the courtroom recently, and the DCF lawyer told me I couldn't wear. So I asked for equipment so I can hear in the courtroom. The DCF told the beller that I couldn't have the equipment because I wasn't part of the case. He ended up giving me the equipment anyway and said she can have it until the judge says it's time for them to step out of the courtroom. She denied me, trying to deny me my own rights.
Wow. And they're so cocky with it, right? They're so arrogant with it, right? Like, oh, we have the power to do this. Wow, you're a miserable person. How dare you think that's cool to not allow a deaf person to hear what's going on? Wow, you're really freaking miserable. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I have to say. I would hate to be that person. It's not cool.
No,
They're
it's
in their
not.
own little club, though, Sylvia. We're just peons.
Oh yeah, club for sure.
Their club, their club sucks. They suck. They need Jesus.
Amen.
They need a lot. They need jail.
Amen.
Too.
Maybe if they start arresting them, holding some of them in jail, some of this stuff will stop. A lot of it probably would stop you start arresting these people.
Well, the problem is that the police are in on it. Yeah. They are literally in on it. I mean, this happened today at court with us. The judge threw us out, and the police is the one that helped the judge throw us out. So they're in on it. And the problem is that it starts at the police department and it ends at the police department. It's a literal circle. And you can't even go after somebody unless you have a police report, right? So you go to the police department, and they don't want to file a report because they know once you get that police report, oh, that can go to the DA. No, we can't have that. Right? So they're in on it.
Yes, they are.
Law enforcement too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I know not too long ago in Mississippi, there was a case that they were able to take down one of the sheriffs there for lying on stand for DCF to traffic a child.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That was Mississippi?
That was in Mississippi recently, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem we have is there's no constitution in the juvenile court and the family court. They could care less. It's been trampled upon for decades. It doesn't exist. And they know it.
Mhm.
There's no oversight. There's no one watching over their shoulder. They just run amok, whatever they want to do.
And the judges just sit there and let the DCF agree what they say
Oh, yeah.
and paint this bad picture of every parent that walks in there.
Can you imagine, Cindy, going into a courtroom knowing you're up against a system that you're never going to beat? And then on top of it, you don't even have a jury of your peers.
No.
It's just a guy in a robe and some lawyers that are all in on it, golf together on the weekends, probably go out on their yacht, and you're screwed.
And they be laughing too.
They
Yeah.
even took a social media post. I posted on a DCF website on Facebook and wrote something out. Didn't name no names. I just said, "Is this happening in Santa Rosa County?" And I said, "Is the judge doing this? Is this happening?" Which was constitutional rights, amendments, and ADA violations. I mean, and that's what they are doing here. They took that. Somebody is monitoring from this area, that site. They took what I wrote on there and sent it into the court system as a exhibit, saying Joy did that.
Wow.
I called. I said, "She didn't do that. I did." But it's still in there that she did it. They're taking stuff off social media posts and using it against the families.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's one there. We have a bridge here that you can paint on, and it's spray paint. It's just a tradition that's always been around here in the area since I've been here. And they're using that in court against the grandmother of a situation now. They're using that in court. That's against her freedom, her amendment for spray painting on the doors, save our children from DCF. They used that in court 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And that was in Escambia County.
Do we know how many children per year get taken from DCF in Florida? Did we ever find that number out?
I do not have that number. I don't have that. I don't have that number, but I have all the other numbers. They make up to 10,000 in bonuses just to adopt a child out.
Yeah, let's run through the numbers if you got them off the top of your head.
Let me see if I can run that number. Let me see if I can pull it up. I have it written down in my computer. If it'll let me pull it up.
The Sunshine State isn't so sunny.
No. It's tearing
No.
apart.
Just like Joy said, if she would have stayed in South Dakota, she would still have her little girl.
Right.
She would still have her little girl. My computer's not pulling up. We're getting a little bit of rainy weather up around the area, so my internet may not be working too good on my computer. So
that's okay. Yeah, I like statistics because numbers just seem to hit people in the face, and especially when it's revolving around children. Because I remember when abortion was at its peak, it was like 1 million babies a year in America were being murdered. And I had a friend, he would go stand out in some of the busiest intersections in our state, and he would have a billboard, and it was pretty grotesque pictures of what actually happens to that baby in the womb. And I kind of disagreed with him at the time that maybe he didn't need to use such graphic images. Maybe he could have conveyed the message a little better, because people just literally hated him. I mean, they would throw stuff at him, spit at him. He got beat up several times. Just lots of really bad things. And I told him, I says, his name was Mike. I said, "Mike, maybe you could just have a billboard with some numbers on it and just keep flipping the numbers every couple seconds. And then people might ask, hey, what are you doing? How come you're flipping numbers?" And then you could say, "Oh, another child was just murdered." And at least it would spark something inside of another person rather than anger. And maybe they would want to do something, it would provoke them. But as far as I know, he's still doing it that way. I've seen him a few times just when I'm driving around. Um, but those numbers can be so effective. I know in the day and age we live in, sometimes numbers we're just overwhelmed with them. We see these gigantic numbers. We're like, oh, they added another 3 more zeros. Now we're at a billion. Oh, we're at a trillion. Like it doesn't even mean anything anymore. But I think if you can put like names with the numbers and people
Mhm.
understand this is an actual human child, it wakes them up and
Yeah.
might even provoke them to actually, maybe do something.
So I can tell you this, now I'm able to get into some of this stuff. I can tell you this, as approximately 30,594 children were served out of the home care during the year of 2022 to 2023 of DCF.
Can you repeat that one more time? The number?
30,594.
Oh my God.
That's all the way up to 2023. That's not even an updated one. So I'm sure that number's tripled since then.
So you're going to tell me that there's roughly, I don't know, 25, 30,000 parents that are just horrible people. They had to have their children taken. That small, in the state of, I don't know how many million you have there, probably 18, 20 million people. That's incredible. And it's like
And
that in
what's so
every state.
ironic about, well, what's so ironic about this case? They were saying the mother didn't take care of the child, didn't give her medication or anything. But then again, she has the pharmacy records where she goes to the pharmacy and get refills. Everything's in documentation, even the records that were billed to the hospital or to her insurance company showing where she's taking her kid to the doctor. And with CF patients, they do have an increase of hospitalizations, but they're going against the mother for trying more natural remedies. But she was on CF medication. The mother did have her own CF medication. They just wanted her on the miracle CF medication, something that has went through the system and did not receive all the testing. But if you start tracing the money back and seeing all the dynamics of it, it's all pushed by Big Pharma and the CF Foundation, who she used to support. She used to help raise money for the CF Foundation. And then she started doing her research and seeing what they were doing. She stopped raising the money for them and just started turning on herself with taking care of her child her own way. And of course, she had a friend that's 51 years old. She's a CF patient. She is a mother. She lives in Alpharetta, Georgia. I just spoke to her this week. She's amazing. Her story is amazing. And do you know she doesn't even do all the CF medication? She does a lot of natural remedies, and she does more like a kickboxing for exercise. That's pretty dang good. And
Mhm.
don't even live off Big Pharma.
You bring up a
Well, they
good
all.
point. Go ahead, KK.
I was just gonna say, like, they have to use the children as guinea pigs to test their medicine on because there's us. Well, why not? They're already in this type of environment. This is a great place, to even torture them more.
Yeah.
Oh, they even went so far as saying in the documentation, the mother does all her research on the internet. Well, I hate to tell you, but if you go to the doctor's office, guess what? He gets his stuff off the internet.
It's such a double standard. They're hypocrites. It's a
It
double
is.
standard.
They talk out of both sides of their mouths. This whole
Literally.
case, they have talked out of both sides of their mouths.
Yeah.
In one paragraph, they're saying that she did not refuse X-rays and blood work. Then you go down a couple more paths. In the paragraphs, it says, "Oh, the daughter was getting better, and she received this blood work, or she received this X-ray." Or I'm just thinking, you just said she didn't do any of this, but then a couple paragraphs later, you bring up something that was done. If she wasn't getting better,
Yeah.
then this wouldn't be happening. You would know the mother was refusing medical treatment. But the child was getting better. Her lungs were getting better. And she got to go home. She went from ICU to a regular floor. If she wasn't getting better, she'd still be in ICU.
Right.
I mean, you make it make sense.
It don't make sense. None of this makes sense. Like, They've done lost their mind, literally.
I mean, you know, I'm sorry. These doctors need to get it together and quit calling DCF because someone stands up against them about their medical. I mean, if I've been to the doctor office many times since COVID. You need to get the vaccine. Matter of fact, you call down to Publix, their pharmacy, they still pushing the vaccine
Yeah, don't get that
on
thing.
recording. I mean, that's our choice. Long as our children, long as this child was not on in ICU about to be on her deathbed, showing signs of dying is one thing. But when she's getting well, going to another floor and going home, nothing that they said is backing up their knowledge, except the mother. The mother's, what she said is backing her up and what she did and what she stood up for.
The big pharma aspect is something maybe we don't include often enough as far as money, because we think of Title 4E funding, right? Going through Social Security. But the big pharma is another, who God only knows how much money is coming in from big pharma. And I can tell you, I know a person in my own personal life who is a pharmaceutical rep and give doctors incentives, right? Oh, get this medication and you get a bonus and all these things. If I'm a doctor, and not me personally, I would never do this, but I'm going to play the role. If I was a doctor and I had a substantial financial debt that I owed to the college that I graduated from for med school, I might be incentivized to say, boy, geez, if I can just push this vaccine, or if I can, push this new medication for CF on this young girl, I could make a lot of money. I mean, I can see how that could happen very easily. It's sick. It's twisted. None of us would do it, that's for sure. But there's a lot of pressure on these people to think, well, it's just one or two people. It's not going to harm them. They convince themselves, tell the lie to themselves over and over again so that they have to believe it. So I don't know how much money Big Pharma is pushing into the foster care system. It's a lot. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm just going to say a lot of their doctors that work through the DCS system agrees to whatever they say. I'm going to bring this up. Like, for instance, there was a comment made this week by someone that happens to been working in the DCS system at some sort. I don't really know how they got all the ties into it. I didn't really question all of it, but I listened to their statement. And they said Joy's mistake was that she never just took her child to a CF clinic in Pensacola. Her mistake, because she didn't take her to a CF clinic. She should be able to take her kid anywhere she wants, that if a doctor sees her and wants to take care of the child the right way.
Right.
What happened to that? I should be able to give my child and take my child to the doctor as long as I'm trying to take care of her, whoever will see her. I'm all about medical freedom rights. And if I got a doctor that does not want to give my child every pharmaceutical and vaccine and wants to try natural remedies, I'm for that. There are 17 chemicals in vaccines, in certain vaccines that you're putting your kid. Your kid's getting 70 vaccines at a time. In some of these vaccines, you got aluminum in it. You've got
Mercury.
oh gosh, yeah. I mean, all these things are in these vaccines, and you're going to tell me that I got to give it to them? Are you going to call DCF on me? I'm protecting my child. You're trying to harm them. You know, that's the thing. And let me just say this. People need to start listening to this. And some people aren't. They're going to have their own mindset. I get that. But when your child's born and they get a vaccine at the time they were born before they leave that hospital, but then you're going to come in there and give me some education and tell me my child can't have some certain food in the first year of their life, you should be raising a red flag. So what makes you think that vaccine is safe? All because we're trying to be parents and stand up against this corruption, this big money game that they like to play and push down our throats. And then they turn around and take our kids away from us. And mind you, these several other cases that I'm dealing with, all are coming from the same hospital. Mind you, Joy called the police department last year to make sure it was okay to take her daughter from one hospital to the other so she wouldn't get in trouble. The police department told her that they wasn't coming up there because they get more calls from that hospital for about DCF all the time, and they're not coming. Now, what make her make that up?
What hospital is that?
Right now, the cases that I have come from Sacred Heart Hospital here locally.
Is
That's
it
a
a
Catholic hospital.
Is it what?
nonprofit?
I'm not sure. It's a Syrian Sacred Heart. It's a Catholic hospital. But what people got to realize, these doctors aren't working for themselves like they used to back in the day when they worked for their personal self. Now they work for the hospitals. So they have to do what the hospital says. Matter of fact, this particular doctor that called DCF on this mother, if you go to her website, it says don't bring your child not unless they're fully vaccinated. So she stood up against them and they called DCF. She stood up against what their thought process. They're the experts. Well, I'm sorry, these doctors are not experts
Right.
and they're not God. And you can't tell me my child may need a lung transplant when they're 20. You don't know that. I've seen doctors say your children's going to die within a year's time. 10 years down the road, they're still living. I talked to several parents this week that said the doctor said their kids were going to die. They had disabilities. They wasn't going to live long. They're 7 and 8 years old. And this is when they were babies. And this is the system that we're dealing with. It's like you said, it's evil. It's evil.
So Catholic Charities, boy, where do you start with that? But I was interested. I'm like, gosh, I wonder if Sacred Heart hospitals could be tied in with Catholic Charities. And this is what comes up on Google. Take it for what it's worth. Yes, Catholic Charities can be connected to Sacred Heart, particularly in the context of specific projects or locations. For example, Catholic Charities of Shiawassee and Genesee, this is in Michigan, to provide transitional housing for veterans. Additionally, Sacred Heart Church and Catholic Charities in San Antonio collaborate on community events like Ask a Lawyer sessions. Furthermore, Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Palm Beach has received funding from the Sacred Heart Foundation for their prison ministry. So on the surface, it looks all rosy.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to tell you, you dig deep into Catholic Charities, and I'm sure the audience that's watching this understands they've done the deep dives. It's not pretty. It's not.
It's a rabbit hole.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a rabbit hole after rabbit hole. And the deeper you dig, the sickening it gets.
Yep.
If you're going to tell me they're not involved in some way in this, you're going to have to convince me. Because there's no, they are definitely involved. There's no doubt in my mind. If it's Sacred Heart Hospital, they're making a lot of money.
Yep.
How sad is it that we live in a day and age where you have to worry if God forbid you need medical attention and you go to a hospital and you have to bring your son or daughter to a pediatrician, maybe they have a high fever or something, and you go there thinking they're going to say, boy, let's hydrate them, we'll keep them overnight, just monitor, make sure everything's all right, and send them home in the morning. You might never get your kid back.
Right.
Like, you actually have to think about that. That's how twisted this is. Medical tyranny. But, this is one thing that shocked me. I was shocked, Cindy, when I got into this because I didn't know any of this stuff till I met Sylvia. But I got to tell you, the one part that I already knew the medical industry was corrupt and big pharma and all that, but I was shocked when I learned the levels of medical kidnapping. That was absolutely stunning to me. How often it happens and how DCF, CPS, DFACS, whatever it's called in your state, actually have offices in some of these hospitals. Just waiting for the call, waiting for the bat phone to go off.
Oh, let's not mention the fact that they're allowed to go in the hospital and do a drug test after you have a baby and have a C-section. Why are we allowing that to happen? don't get me wrong. If they're in the hospital and these parents are on drugs, or this baby was born with drugs in the system, it's going to show in their blood work. But I have a case right now that they went in and had the mother urinate void in a cup to get her drug test, and she failed it. But let me just say, she was on all this medication before she just had a baby. She just had a baby with a C-section. So what do you think is going to happen? And I hate to tell you, some of these medications they give you through IVs can come up and make it look like on all these drugs. This guy, the father of the child, has been fighting this case for 3 years now, and now his little girl's been adopted out. He's went to the big honchos of that particular hospital we just talked about. And he's been begging to get his daughter back. He's even wrote to Pam Bundy, Bundy, Pam
Freudian
Bundy,
slip.
and
Doing her job anyway, so you can
yes,
call her whatever.
he's even wrote to the DOJ himself. He's wrote to the governor. He's wrote to so many people trying to get them to see what they're doing here. He has spent thousands of dollars to be able to prove his wife's innocence. And their daughter got adopted out anyway. They lost her, 3 years old.
There's so many stories. Like, that is so many stories. And y'all, it's awful. It's so awful. Especially when you talk to these parents. Like, I don't even understand how, like, these caseworkers, they have no feelings. It's almost like they've been so desensitized to the whole system that they don't even look at them as people. Like, they don't even look at the parents as people. And like you said, they have kids. Look at Georgia DFATS, the head of DFATS, Candace Brose. She has children. She sits in these groups and watches what the parents are saying about the fraud, and she does nothing. The only thing that she does is take it to court and use it against the parents. Like, it is so sociopathic. There's no conscience, there's no feeling. Like, I honestly feel sorry for those people because I would never want to be that miserable ever. And but it's tearing families apart. It's making it's making moms, dads commit suicide. Like, it's awful.
It sure is. It sure is. I'm worried about Joy. She is so down right now that she's worried she would never see her daughter again. And, I can't even imagine what she's going through, but all I can do is be here for her and let her know that we are here for her. And that's why I'm stepping out and being her voice. And whoever is involved in this case and doing what they're doing, you're going to have to answer for this one day.
Yep. Is there something that the people can do? Like, can they, is there an email? Can they send an email to, I don't know, do you have somebody good that they could write to?
Well, I mean, we're doing all we can. We are setting up a GoFundMe account. We're just not going to go through GoFundMe. We are going through another way to be able to raise money for Joy to fight this and help pay for her attorney fees. A lot of us local people have been giving Joy money to be able to pay for her motel fees and gas, and even help paying for some of her lawyer. I know she has some friends back home and up north that's been helping, but she's drained all her finances. She's doing all she can to keep her head above water because she has another child.
Yeah.
So we do have an account set up that if anybody wants to donate, they can reach out to my email at csmith101677@gmail.com, and we can send the link to you. I don't have it ready and up. I got a lady working on all that now to try to get this going. So, and I'm hoping that we can start raising funds to get this baby home and just start speaking up, calling the judge, help us call the governor, the state reps, whatever. Write to the judges. If you want all that information, you got my email, and let's just see if we can bring this little girl home and many others, because Joy has a testimony, and her little girl says, "Mommy, I want to be famous one day." And she says, you will be, and she will. She's going to have a story to tell. And I know she's going to be strong. And Joy's raised these two girls up to be very strong-willed people. And they're wonderful. And their hearts are so big. And matter of fact, the oldest one, sometimes I say, listen to your daughter. She's telling you. That's how smart she is. And I mean, if anybody wants to help, just please email me and help us fight this corruption. It's just so sad to see what we're dealing with. And the attorneys that don't want to even pick up the case is so twisted. They have twisted it and destroyed it so much. It's going to be so much to unravel. And her attorney right now is $400 an hour.
Wow.
And he has 12 hours worth of courts to look through, and that's not including that. His 24K don't even include that.
So what
So,
cover?
hmm,
What does the 24 cover?
just some of the stuff he's already done. We filed a motion to reunification. He's not done that yet, but he's supposed to be working on it. She's already paid him over $7,000 already. So I mean, he's very expensive. And if the system's this corrupted, is he going to be able to beat this case? Is he going to stand up for her? He has drove all the way up here. I mean, he says he can move forward, he can win this case, but man, he
What's
he's
does he have a track record against them?
yeah, he won. Actually, he won a case, I think he said, in Panama City a few years ago against the medical marijuana for a cancer patient, a child. So he won that case actually. So and I don't remember how Joy found him. I mean, he seems very knowledgeable and good. We actually have a nurse here locally that wants to take Joy's baby and bring her back to Santa Rosa County. She's put in her resume in to him to be able to push. But get this, we found out this week that these nurse people with good background, nursing, medical background, they're sending them over to a center over in Pensacola to even teach them how to give Tylenol. They're making you go through this Rucker Memorial to be able to get the child, because their goal is for you not to get the child, not to help the situation. They want it to make the situation worse. And Joy has recommended her daughter to go to another family member or a friend. They told them that they were too much like Joy. Their thinking was too much like Joy to be able to get her child. So they moved her. They said they moved her to Jacksonville because they don't have any local medical homes here. And so I reached out and found someone that's willing to take the child and bring her in her home to help take care of her and bring her here closer so Joy can at least have some closer visitation. But it's not a guarantee that DCF is going to approve it because, well, I'm exposing them, so they're going to retaliate.
Yeah, they don't like being exposed. So they hate that, don't they? They just really hate that. But they love doing it. They love messing with the families. We're gonna expose them all.
Yeah. Well, Cindy, thank you so much for coming on and sharing the story, and very encouraging. I'm very proud of what you're doing down there in Florida. We need to, can we like carbon copy you or clone you, make a whole bunch of Cindy's that are willing to do the hard work? That would be amazing. I
I
know
wish
you're
I
gonna have,
could.
yeah, I know you're gonna
But
have
hey,
great
you know
success.
what? My voice is power. And
Yes.
getting this out can go all over this country to have others stand up just like me.
Right. And God wants us to step out in faith.
Yep.
So you're doing the work.
Cindy, we'll go ahead and I'll put that email in the show notes. So if people are willing to donate, that would be amazing. Guys, is there anywhere they can follow you personally? Do you have any social media?
Yeah,
Facebook?
I just have my social media, Facebook. The Panhandle doesn't do all the other stuff. I do have X, which is under my old account where I was running for state representative, and I am on Rumble, but I will start. I guess it sounds like I need to expand. But I've been so busy with these cases, it's hard to even expand. So I do have a lady that's helping me get this set up and getting it going because we've got to stand up and fight this.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're going to let
But
you
you
go,
can reach
Cindy.
out to me. You can message me on social media under my Facebook, Cindy Smith. Um, you can email me, and I promise you, I will get back to you. Anything that you want to be a part of this and help expose, help stand up. Just please reach out to me. We'll be glad to have you on board because it's time to make a difference and stand up against our babies,
It is.
for our babies.
Yes. And Rescue the Foster looks forward to working with you. So Cynthia is somebody that I speak to and somebody that we are working with. And Joy is also another mom that I speak to. And that, they always love putting the gag orders like, okay, because she was getting loud
Yeah.
and she was getting so they had to put a gag order on her. It's they can't fight fair, like just like today, they had to like shut everybody out of the courtroom because they got moves. We don't know how to fight it. So let's just break all the laws we can possibly think of, which actually helps us out because now we can go after them even more.
I've compared them to the
It's
bully on the
sad to see these
playground.
corrupt judges. I mean, where are the good people at? Where's the good judges? Where are the good lawyers? Do they even
Good question.
exist anymore?
Right.
That's what's
Yeah.
the scary thing. The system is broken, and we can't even get them to stand up for what's right.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, it's the bully on the playground. Sometimes you got to go and face the bully and get your lunch money back.
Yep.
It's time for that to happen. Cindy, thank you so much again. God bless you. God bless the work you're doing. Look forward to seeing you in the future with a reunification story.
Yes.
Get some good news.
We're praying hard, and y'all just keep us in y'all's prayers and help us fight, get this little girl home.
Yes. We love
If
you,
you can
Joy.
go ahead, if you can go
Thank y'all
ahead
so
and
much.
if you can go ahead and end your meeting, we're going to stick around and finish the show.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Wow. We had a good run there, Sylvia, KK. We had a couple reunifications, some good stories. This one got me really ticked off again. Just like,
Right.
oh man, I need a punching bag like right next to my computer here that I can just like hit during the show or something. Let out some anger,
It'd be nice.
righteous
Yep.
indignation.
Yep. You should put one of those like that you can hit right there, like right
Speed
while you're
bag.
on the show. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So, okay, I talked with Lorena, our good friend Lorena, today, and they're still trying to get her documentary done. And she asked if we would go ahead and play the trailer. So I want to go ahead and play Lorena's trailer. It's called The Hidden Truth. If you don't know who Lorena is, this is about 10 years ago now. She was in Texas. Her children, was it one or two? I forgot. One.
It was her child that she took to a children's hospital.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Medical.
Started the whole thing. She has 3 kids total when they took all of them. Yep.
And so she's been through quite the trial, but she overcame, and Lorena's a fighter. That woman knew how to fight. She went to the media, she changed laws, she had lawmakers on her side. Like, she did not stop. She didn't quit and got her children back. But they're doing a documentary. It's almost finished, so here's the trailer.
My name is Lorena. I'm from Poway, California. It's a nice city right near San Diego, California. My dad is one of 11 children, and my mom is one of 8 children. And I have a huge family with lots of aunts, uncles, and cousins. And I grew up with 3 crazy older brothers. There's never a dull moment with growing up with my brothers. There's never any history of drug, alcohol, or abuse in any way.
The Constitution of the United States, ratified on June 21, 1789, is the supreme law of the United States. The first 10 amendments, also known as the Bill of Rights, were written and proposed to the states on September 25, 1789, by the First Congress of the United States, and ratified by the necessary number of states on December 15, 1791. Unlike any document before it, the Bill of Rights laid out the rules, not for the people, but rather what the government can and cannot do. The 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th Amendments are specifically designed to protect the citizens from a dictatorial government. Their purpose is meant to ensure that people are treated fairly if suspected or arrested for crimes. The 4th Amendment specifically protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures without a warrant. On New Year's Eve 2014, Lorena, a young mother living in Austin, Texas, gave birth to her second child, JJ. Not long after his birth, Lorena became concerned about an ongoing medical issue. Concerned, Lorena sought out medical attention for JJ, but little did she know that the Constitution would not apply to her.
Lorena, you here?
Yes.
Along with the kids?
I don't know for sure. So Jennifer, did you talk to DHS from here that came and saw the kids where they were? You didn't come and see them, did you?
You're not going to have this.
Are you Bridget? Are you Bridget? Mm-hmm. You guys are corrupt from the beginning. You understand that? It's all about the money, right? $6,000 per kid?
That is the preview for The Hidden Truth, Lorena's story that will be out in the fall. They do need help. So if you guys can go, this would be amazing. If you can go get Lorena's book, Miracles of Faith, it's on, I'm going to put this in the show notes in the bottom of the description box. It's, you guys can't see
Yeah, we can
my
see it.
screen's cut off. Yeah, but you can't see the website. It's westbowpress.com. westbowpress.com. And it's Miracles of Faith. Lorena wrote this book. That would help fund the rest of this documentary. There's not much to go. I believe it's in the editing stages. So we need to get this out to the public so everybody understands what's going on and how Lorena beat the system. So if you guys can do that, that would be great. And again, I will put that in the show notes. Oh man. So you guys had an eventful day. We got a couple videos I know you wanted to show. So we'll start with Sylvia. Sylvia, you want to explain what happened today in court?
Yeah, I mean, it was insane, Gino. And that's really what's got me fired up, and that's really the reason you're hearing this tone tonight, because we got to court this morning, and we went straight to the clerk's office to file, because Heather Daly was filing to be Michaela's lawyer, because Michaela's had lawyer after lawyer, and they literally do nothing. One lawyer fell asleep in the courtroom, literally fell asleep, like at the table. And all they do is they sit there and they slander, right? So then we go upstairs to where the courtroom is. And I'm thinking it's a different case because they have multiple cases, throughout the day. So you're not the first one there usually. You're not the first one usually. And so they're like, no, this is a closed hearing. So I'm thinking, okay, it's not Michaela's case. Well, then Heather walks in and Michaela walks up to the seat, and I'm like, wait, okay, this is Michaela's case. And the officer in the courtroom, he was kicking us out. He's like, y'all need to leave, y'all need to leave. So Heather's like, no, I'm her lawyer. And the judge literally refused to let her just kicked her out, kicked the lawyer out. Michaela's lawyer kicked her out. Then, and she wasn't going to leave, but the police officer got in her face and was like, "You better leave. You have to leave." Like, he was all in her face. So we had to leave. He said he was going to remove her if she didn't. And then Michaela's sitting there, and she's like, they start the case without her, and she's like, "I'm without counsel," and she's like, the judge literally was like, "Oh yeah, your lawyer withdrew, the court appointed lawyer," and Michaela was like, I didn't receive any paperwork, nothing. And the judge goes, "Oh yeah, you're gonna represent yourself. You're gonna be pro se." And Michaela's like, "I don't want to be pro se. I've been pro se before and you guys, it didn't turn out right, right?" So literally, we're all kicked out of there. They continue the hearing. We still do not know what is going on. We don't know what happened. So it fired me up. So I went outside and I went live. And this is Judge Amber Sorrows. Actually, will you pull her up? She's a new judge. It's SOWERS. But she literally violated so many laws. And then when the bailiff came out, Heather was like, "This is the law that she broke. Like, the court is open." And he goes, "You got to take it up with her. You got to take it up with George Soros." And I was like, "You didn't even let her." "Oh, here's an email address if anyone wants to email her. There's a phone number on there too." But this is where we were today, 25 Justice Way.
Incredible.
And that is her.
How old's Michaela?
28.
28.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and play your videos. This is Sylvia first, and then we'll get to KK's. You guys did a great job, by the way.
I need to redo mine.
She thinks
No, you did great, KK. You did great.
Hey guys, this is Sylvia Beachy with Rescue the Fosters. I am standing here at Dawsonville Juvenile Courthouse. As you can see, there is a Dawson County Government Masonic sign right here. We are here for Heather Daly and Michaela Daly. Michaela Daly had a court setting for today at 8:30 a.m. We filed a motion to record the hearing. Everything was going as scheduled. Heather was representing Michaela Daly. She signed the paperwork. We filed it. We get to the court. Judge Amber Sorrows decided she was going to have a closed court hearing, not allow anyone into the hearing. She kicked myself out. Sylvia Beachy with Rescue the Foster. She kicked KK out. She kicked Stephanie. Joanne, Heather Daly, the attorney for Michaela. She kicked her out. She used force by using the police to kick all of us out. We were informed that if we were not leaving, they would make us leave. So we are standing here. They are having a closed court hearing without Michaela. Like, this is insane, people. We need you to share. We need you to like. I don't know if anyone's even on here. So please, please, please. And we will keep you posted. Yeah, they wanted her to represent us. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm KK with Rescue the Fosters, live here at court for Michaela Daly. So I was just with Michaela Daly, and we were just talking, and she was basically talking about how they want her to represent herself, and she's not supposed to be doing that. She has to have a lawyer, and not only that, they kicked her lawyer out, and the police came and kicked all of us out that came to support her. So they're basically having a case without her. That's illegal. That's foul. They're not supposed to be doing that. They're not supposed to be having no closed hearing without her being present there. So thank you guys. I hope that y'all can share this, repost this, and just really research this stuff and how these judges are treating these families. They do not want them to get their children back. And that is so wrong. But guess what? God is on our side. Justice is coming. I know right now we have to go through these hurdles, but it's coming. So guys, please support Michaela, help her, and pray for her, guys. So thank you.
We're still live. Anything else?
Good job. That's hard to do.
I was so mad. I thought KK did, so professional, because I was so mad because and I felt so helpless because who's over the judge? And then we go live and I'm like, I don't even know if anybody's on here, and nobody's showing up, but I was like, we got to do something. And we have been busy all day, Gino. We will be having an update because we did go to the police department to file a police report. The police didn't like that at all, right? Mm-hmm. So we will have to get those body cameras because they did not want to do that. In fact, the police officer walked out to make a call. I wonder who is calling, considering that the courthouse sits right beside the police station. So, there goes that. I'm just
I can tell you, I got on the Zoom call at 8:30 this morning, had it sitting on my nightstand next to the bed for an hour. And I'm like, what is going on? Nothing, no activity, not even you're not allowed in the court, nothing. It just kept, it would have went all day. So I started, I text you guys. I'm like, what's going on? Anything? And then I find out you guys are live and all this other stuff's going on. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, I was just I got to do something. This is insane. This is insanity. I mean, and where's the oversight for the judge? And we do have some complaints coming for the judge, and we do have some other stuff coming out. So we ain't done yet.
Is this a Kemp appointed judge or elected?
I'm not sure. I know she's a new judge, and I know she's she loves the power. Oh, she loves it. I mean, and she don't follow the law. You sit in her court, nobody mentions the law. Nobody goes by the law. Even the guardian ad litem, nobody mentions any law. They never state any law. It's always, I think, and you sit there and you're like, okay, is anyone gonna mention the law? Anything that they're saying? Nothing.
That's where we're at.
It is. Yep.
Oh, well. All right. Well, we're going to pray for that. It's all going to work out in the end. This is in God's hands. I'm telling you, it's so monumental. When abortion got overturned and it went back to the states, I mean, that was a big deal. And this is the other aspect of it. This is the other arm of Moloch. And it's being twisted. Yep. They're feeling the pinch. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much over on X, Rumble, Foxhole, and YouTube. We appreciate you guys. If you can share, and subscribe, that would be amazing. We need to get in those algorithms. Yes. If you guys need to reach out to Rescue the Fosters, it's rescuethefosters.org. There's lots of great information on the website that there's a resource tab that's phenomenal. Yes. If you guys need to drop an email to them, you can drop it right there on the website. And anything else, ladies, before we close up shop?
Just keep on fighting and don't give up.
Yes, and please go and share and because we've got to get in the, like you said, Gina, we've got to get in the algorithm. We've got to get eyes on this. We need to hold judges accountable. They do not have the right to just violate every law. Michaela's rights are violated. We still don't know what happened in court today. and the clerk there, and I know she's just doing her job, but she's following the judge's orders. She doesn't give any of the evidence. She didn't file the motion that we put in yesterday was not, nobody even did anything on it. So they're just not, they're just doing whatever they want, and there's
What
no
was the
accountability.
reasoning? What was the reasoning by the judge?
There's no reasoning. We don't even know why we were kicked out. She just said this is a closed court hearing.
And that was never announced beforehand.
No. And this is an open court. And every I think I have the law here that she broke. Let me see if I have it. It's on I think I posted it here.
Is that just,
oh gosh.
Just
Yes.
Dia?
So yeah, so I posted it on my Facebook. It's Georgia code. It is 15-11-700. That's the code that she broke. So, and she didn't give a reason. I don't know if you want me to send it to you or not, but it's on my Facebook.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. You posted it today?
Yep. Under the video that I posted on the video that you just played, I posted that on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, it's the first one. It's pinned to my page. And then if you click in the comments, it's like the second comment down.
Oh, second comment on the video then?
Yeah. So you click on the comments.
And nothing. It's just saying one comment. All right. Well, can you do it real fast and drop it in the chat here?
Yeah.
Chat?
Well, I can't because I'm on different.
I
don't know how to do that.
All right. Well, that's okay.
I can probably. If you go to my Facebook page, people, go to my Facebook page, please go share. Scroll up. Right? No, that's plants. See, shared it. It's the first one. Scroll up.
This one?
Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Not that one. Scroll up. Okay. Oh gosh. Now you're moving.
I think you're a little behind me, so it must be this one. Let's see.
No, it's not it.
Here it is, right here.
No.
This is the one that belongs.
Yeah. Can you send that to him?
Yeah, go to Facebook, follow Sylvia over there, Sylvia Beachy, Beachy. And she also has a Rescue the Fosters. Send it. Where'd you send it, KK?
On your phone, because I don't remember your email.
Oh.
Sorry, we're not very good at this because for some odd reason you're showing a different video than what I'm showing on mine. And it's not in the comments of the video. It's in the comments. I posted a comment on, like, you know how you like people comment on there?
Right.
And I put it in there. But you're not clicking on that comment. You're clicking on the video and then going to the comments. So it's completely different. So I don't know.
Here, I sent it to you in email now.
Okay. That makes it much easier. Okay.
This is what happens when you do a live show, y'all. You don't have time to edit out all the technical issues.
Oh man, I didn't even.
Yeah.
All
so
I didn't even.
It says the court's order may incorporate all or part of the DFACS report and shall include findings of fact which reflect the court's consideration of the oral and written testimony offered by all parties, as well as non-parties, who are required to be provided with notice and a right to be heard in any hearing to be held with respect to a child, and defects.
Yeah, and I think if you scroll up, it says about the public part, how the court is.
I don't think it was scroll up, so I only screenshotted it.
She only screenshotted that part. Okay, yeah, we're all up. We're literally all.
So
That's all right. We get the gist of it.
Yeah, because at the top it says it's open to the public except for these reasons, and those reasons had nothing to do with Michaela's court.
Well, they never do.
No.
I think we've proven that over 110 shows now, or whatever we've done. I think it's obvious. I don't think, to be honest, I think people that are watching our show, they get it. Like they realize, okay, something's wrong, something's terribly wrong, upside down. And I think America in general, citizens of this great country, they feel inside injustice. We know it. We've seen it for a long time now. But justice has a way of cycling back. And it's God's hand that's orchestrating it. So we're gonna get justice. It's coming. And I'm telling you, like, you know, I know Cindy had mentioned that there is an ultimate day of judgment that's coming. And I know these people don't fear God, because if they did, they would never do this stuff. But you will face him. And I would say turn from your wicked ways, just like he says, repent. Humble yourselves and repent. Because if you don't, there is a day of judgment, and that day will sneak up on you, and you will have to answer for what you've done. You have time. You could still repent. You could turn from your wicked ways. You have families.
Your Lord and Savior.
You have your own families. And guess what? I know you think less of us. We're all equal in his sight. We're all made in his image. That would be my suggestion. So turn before personally, I think justice is coming in this lifetime. So I would get on the right side of the law. And I mean the law, the Constitution, not the one you use, which is no law at all. Pseudo law. Right. God bless everybody. Have a great night. We will see you next time, Monday night. See you back for Rescue the Fosters this coming Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Insecure and left alone to defend for ourselves. We are praying to the Lord for when this nightmare is going to end. How many more sleepless nights? How much more pain and tears do we have to endure? When can I see my family or someone who cares for me? Are we not good enough? Or are we just some test rats that have to follow orders? Are we just worth $1? Or are we actually being taken care of? Our hearts are burning in pain, and tears keep falling from our cheeks. Tired of crying and having our emotions in cycles. Our voices are being empowered by the ones who have more authority than us. However, today is the day it ends. No more feeling ashamed and leaving abandoned. We are standing up tall and raising our voices high. We are a child of God, and our work has just begun. God thinks we are worth enough and worth fighting for. God has our back and no need to fear. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. Now one more child is going to be left alone and abandoned. Thank you, Jesus, for all you have done for us, and all glory goes to you. In Jesus' name, amen.